I said to my mother, I said, Mom, I want you to know something. For a while there, every time that I got up, I felt, a little pain in my back. Ooh, the creak in my legs. Ooh, now, get up, I sit down, I get up again, I sit down, nothing. Holy shit. It's like if you work out, you actually feel good.
I have no idea what I just watched, or where the fuck 90% of what Phil said came from. I'm just here because I'm one of the lifting-style detractors, and what I just witnessed should be labeled a war crime under the Geneva Convention. Anyway, here's Phil.
That's correct. We can't have the mic block my chest because as I'm getting more and more swole as I work out, we want people to see my heaving chest muscles. You understand? We need people to see that.
The only problem with this sentiment, Phil, is that it's impossible to spot reduced fat. All things considered, if you were getting newbie gains, you would actually make your man tits more prominent. Which tracks, actually, because it would appear you're wearing a fucking circus tent as a shirt.
No, in truth, I'm just incredibly self-conscious. I was very upset earlier this year when it was said that I had moobs. And as you can see, I've worked out so hard, I've completely worked them off, and I do not have moobs anymore whatsoever. And I just have muscles that are growing. So there you go. I want to show this off every single day. Here you go.
I honestly can't tell if he's being serious here, but if he is, it begs the question why in the past he would say he has pecs if he knew full well he had man tits. Moreover, if he's being serious, it reveals that we detractors actually can control the pig roach with ridicule and shame, and thank God for that. So, as a summary, the lesson here is that cyberbullying—
No, unacceptable.
Sorry, what I meant to say was, constructive criticism works.
Acceptable.
Oh, I have a genuine question. Because a troll was talking about curls in Kick Chat, and it gave me this popped into my head, okay? So, I never used dumbbells before to do exercises like I'm doing now. When I used to work out, when I was in my 20s, I just used the what is it they call the barbell, the one that's the one weight together. So let's say, for example, theoretically, you've got two weights on the barbell, and you're doing a curl. Do you say you're curling the full amount of both weights? Because right now, obviously, I've got the two independent weights, right? And each one is the same weight, but when I'm curling, I'm only doing it with one arm. So do you say you're curling that, or do you say you're curling both? I don't understand, what is the measurement?
This bit is highly suspect and possibly revealing. See, when you're working out against yourself, the measurement shouldn't matter. Let's take Phil's dilemma, where he asks how one should say they lift. If Phil was lifting for personal progress, he could log it as either 50 or 100 pounds. To be clear, there is no universe where Phil is two-arm curling a hundo or single-arm curling a 50, but irrespective of the weight, as long as Phil is logging consistently, he should be able to document growth. It shouldn't matter as long as he uses the same metric each time. However, when you're comparing yourself to someone else, and you can't tell if they're counting the whole bar or just an individual dumbbell weight, then I could see how it would matter. The question then becomes, who are you comparing your lifts to, Phil?
Let's just pull a random number out. Let's say 50 pounds, right? If each dumbbell is 50, okay, do you say you're curling 50?
Yes, you are performing a single-arm dumbbell curl at 50 pounds. Correct.
Or if it was on the one barbell, it would have been 100. Do you say you're curling 100? I'm confused as how it's measured.
Fun fact, Google has existed since 1998. Not that a search engine which leads you to answers to dumbass questions like this might help you, Phil. I just thought I'd throw out a random statistic. But to his question, I, personally, change my measurement as the equipment changes. If I'm using dumbbells, I'm not adding the weight together, I'm logging how much one dumbbell weighs. If I have the barbell, I'm logging the entire weight, and not per arm. This is pretty common sense stuff, and if Phil is as far along in his fitness journey as he claims, he ought to know this shit by now.
You would say you're curling 50. Okay. So if someone has a barbell and they have 250 pounds on there and they're curling, and they say they're curling 100, they're saying it wrong because they're using both arms. It should be saying that they're curling 50.
Tell me you've never lifted without telling me you've never lifted. If you have a barbell with 50 pounds on each side, You have 145 pounds, Phil, 50 for each weight, and 45 pounds for the fucking bar. Like every, and I mean every, gym bro knows the weight of a universal bar. And if you tell me that you're a gym rat and you didn't know the bar is 45 pounds, I'm calling you a liar, either for the statement that you're a gym rat or the statement that you didn't know the bar was 45 pounds. Also, to your question, Phil, incorrect. First, why a fucking barbell to curl? You want to get fucked up wrists? Because that's how you get fucked up wrists. Second, that weight is all one unit, so most, I'd say nearly all people, would log that as a single unit of measurement. Honestly, it's better to break it down by the lift name. A single arm dumbbell curl implies single arm unit of measurement. Barbell curl implies two hands controlling one weight, so log the one weight. But we're dealing with someone who can't remember the name to side lateral raises and thinks that side lateral raises work the back, so, I mean, it's not surprising he says stupid shit like this.
I was so confused because I haven't done this in so long. I don't remember how it's actually the terminology and everything. No, you call it barbell curling 100. Now I'm really confused. But it's the same amount. It's curling 100 if it's both arms. It's curling 50 if it's one. But that doesn't make sense. You're curling the same amount. But in one case, you're saying you're curling 50. In the other case, you're saying you're curling 100. But you're curling the same amount.
Do you honestly not know what stabilizing muscles are? When you're using two hands to control a single thing, there is more balance. The left hand or arm can rely on the right hand or arm to help control the weight. When you isolate the arms have to do more independently to control the weight. But again, why does this even matter? How does this help Phil in his fitness journey? I am just so lost.
Because someone could lie then. Someone could be like, oh, I curl 100, but in reality, they only curl 50. But they're saying they curl 100 because they're using the barbell. So it makes it sound like they're curling more than they really do. You see how confusing this is?
Well, that convinces me. He's comparing himself to someone, because otherwise, why would he be worried that someone is lying? And yes, I'm aware that the irony of Phil being worried someone else is lying is so gargantuan it could forge a sword out of it and still not cut through Phil's bullshit. But yeah, this sudden concern for the honesty of logging weight seems really out of left field to me.
Whatever. I'm using dumbbells for now, and like I said, I'm at a point where what I'm trying to do is perfect the level I'm at and then add more weight, because I can only add more weight, I think, 2 to 3 more times with my set, and then I'm maxed. And then I'd have to buy heavier dumbbells. So what I want to do is I'm trying to, rather than keep adding weight, I'm trying to perfect what I'm doing, and I'm trying to add more reps. So recently what I did is now I'm trying to increase the amount that I'm doing in each set, rather than it just be the set amount I was doing up to now. I'm trying to increase the amount first. Then when I'm used to doing the more reps, then I want to increase the weight later.
Phil says he has 2 to 3 more increases on his dumbbells and then he's maxed. Now, we've been talking about curls this whole time. I think it's safe to assume that Phil is also talking about maxing out his weight as it pertains to curls. Now, I've heard Phil say his dumbbells max at 52.5 pounds. I'm going to round that down to 50. Now, if we increment by 5, an increment of 2 to 3 more times would either be 35 or 40 pounds for single arm curls. And I just have to say, horse shit, Phil. You are not lifting 35 or 40 pounds per arm, at least not correctly. After seeing this, I logged a quick set of 10 at 35 and 5 at 40. My range of motion isn't perfect, but I'll ask you this. Based on his recent Sub-Zero Chubkins costume and with how much I'm struggling to knock out 10 at 35 and 5 at 40, does he really believe he's mastered this weight with his bulging biceps?
And also what I'm trying to do is implement other exercises. Like I said, I'm trying to do push-ups now. And actually I hit a new record for push-ups last night. I was like, yes, this is good. I'm seeing every time I work out, I see a little bit of improvement. And I like that. That I haven't hit a plateau. I'm still a little bit better, just a little bit better, just a little bit better, just a little bit better. And that's, I think, the best way to go about it. At first you see those giant gains, but then you slow it down, but it's okay as long as you're still seeing the improvement. And that's what I'm working on right now. So Jeffrey says, I curl 50s, plural, if you're using dumbbells. I curl 100, singular, if you're using a barbell. Okay. Interesting. What is the goal? Am I trying to lose weight or gain muscle? Yes. Correct. That's absolutely correct. Both. I would like to lose the fat and gain muscle. Right now, my major problem is the tire, the spare tire that everyone has, especially when you're my age. If you haven't been actively working out, which I haven't, you get this spare tire and man, it won't go away.
You ordered a 1,000 plus calorie sub, stuffed it down your throat, and said it wasn't filling. How are you surprised you're fat, fat ass? I've said it 100 times. There's no spot reducing fat. You have to maintain a caloric deficit, and you want DSP tries it every fucking week. I mean, Phil, you understand that most deficits are 200 to 500 calories, right? And let's assume you're doing 500 calories as a deficit, and you do DSP tries it once a week. I've seen DSP tries it where you're looking like you overconsume by like 2,000 calories. That's 4 days of work gone. Meaning if, and that's a big if, you're actually being strict the other days, you're at a total deficit of 1,000 calories per week. That's not even a pound of loss per 2 weeks. Why would you think your tire is going to go away? Like, just do some basic fucking research before you open your fucking craw, please.
And then you'll have a day when you're not working out and you eat, and then it's like, oh, you look like you got all bloated and shit. But then you get back to your workout, later in the week and you look fine again. It's just this, it's a pain. It's going to take a while. Maybe I'll get rid of it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But I'm going to keep going. Like I keep increasing. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that eventually it will go away, but I don't know. Like every time I go online and you look online and people talking about exercising, it's how do you get rid of that? How do you get rid of the spare tire? Because it's so hard. Like, damn, it's going to be a pain in the ass, isn't it? It sucks. I should have not let myself get to the point where I had that and now I can't get rid of it, but it is what it is. At least I'm working out now, Better late than never. No, that's correct. You lose fat with dieting, not with lifting weights. You're absolutely correct. But when you're working out, now your body craves protein and good things because your muscles need that to keep their muscle level. So it works hand in hand. You need to be working out, but you also need to be eating better. You have to do both. You can't just do one or the other. If you do one, you'll get some progress, but if you do both, that's the optimal, and that's what I'm going for.
I need whatever drug Phil is on. You crave protein. When the fuck does that start? Because when I get done with a stupid heavy lift, I want to scarf down any food. Bread, pizza, candy, it don't matter. And when you're in a caloric deficit, you want to fucking eat everything. This wise man of the mountain, holy monk, I turn away from temptation, Phil, is currently my most hated version of him. You're not a guru. You're not a fitness influencer. You're not a Jocko Willink or a Leif Babin. You're a balding 43-year-old bitch that cries online about how life isn't fair to you. And now, you're now looking for some kind of redemption that you can't earn. Fucking deal with it.
That's right. High protein, low fat, low carbs as well, trying to cut down on carbs and working out. The other thing is, if you're having things that aren't necessarily good for you, like let's say you're having some carbs, but as long as you're also having protein with it, then it's like you're not wasting the food. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you're just sitting there eating carbs, that's not necessarily really going to help you unless you're like tired as shit and you need the energy boost, right? But if you're eating carbs with protein, now at least you're getting the protein that you need along with the carbs is kind of like your treat along with the protein, if that makes sense.
No, that doesn't make sense in the fucking slightest. And I'm not all that knowledgeable about my macros. I mean, I use an app for them. I need to get 210 grams of protein, 196 grams of carbs, and 58 grams of fat, according to my app. I mean, carbs are your primary source of fucking energy, and I'm listening to what looks to be a gray-shirted version of the poop emoji tell me I don't need them. Please, Phil, shut the fuck up. You're literally making people worse off if they listen to you.
Most people refer to the weight I'm curling as single weight, meaning if you say 100, people would know that it's 50 each arm. Okay. It's still confusing. It's still freaking confusing. Yes, soda is like the absolute worst thing you could ever do to yourself, drinking soda. Soda is atrociously bad. It is pure calories. Your body doesn't need it for anything and will never use it. You're just putting really bad shit in your body. All you got to do is cut out soda out of your diet entirely and start drinking other things that are healthy. You'll immediately see results, like immediately. The only exception is if you cut out soda, but you replace it with something else equally sugary. Like, oh, I'm not drinking soda anymore, but now I'm drinking like fucking fruit juice blend with added sugar. Okay, that's not going to help you. But if you go from like soda to real juice or soda to water or soda to seltzer or soda to anything that's a dramatic decrease in calories, you're going to see an immediate result.
No, you fucking won't. There is no panacea. There is no cure-all. And lest we forget, children, this fat, disingenuous twat waffle drinks fucking alcoholic seltzers with more calories than a can of Coke Classic. Yeah, a 140 calorie can of Coke is better than the Truly Unruly or White Claw or whatever other bitch beer he's drinking. But here he is, chest and titties out, speaking with his big boy voice that by stopping soda, you will, his words, cause an immediate change. Stop it, Phil. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Actually, I take it back. Keep talking like you're a guru. I hope someone sues the fuck out of you and you lose the snort for it.
Yeah, exactly. The villain says Crystal Light. Crystal Light is actually something that used to be a diet drink. Now it's not anymore, but it actually used to be sold as a soda alternative diet drink that if you drink the Crystal Light, it still has flavor, but it's very low calorie and it doesn't give you the awful... There's a couple problems with sugary drinks. The one is obviously the calories. The second is the crash. You'll drink that soda, right? You'll say, oh, I really need a soda right now. I'm craving it. You drink the soda, and what happens is immediately your body gets loaded with calories, so you feel like hyper. Then all of a sudden, you crash and you feel like shit. Now, guess what? You want another soda.
The calories hype you up and give you energy, but then you crash. Has anyone here eaten 2,000 calories on Thanksgiving and then wanted to go run a marathon from all the energy that gave you? No? I didn't think so.
So you're just hurting yourself by doing that because now you're constantly in this addiction cycle of you want soda all the time because you want that big boost of energy, and when it goes away, you feel like ass and you want to drink another one. So that soda is like so fucking bad for you. The other thing that's bad for you, coffee with a ton of cream and sugar, because it's just as bad. You get a caffeine boost and you get a sugar boost, but then you crash because you put sugar in your body and you want another one. And people don't realize that. Like if you drink a black coffee, okay, but if you're putting all this fucking creamer and sugar and all these calories in there, it's just as bad as a soda. Red Bull is fucking terrible. No, you should not be drinking those crazy ass energy drinks with the fucking a million things of vitamin D and B and shit. You don't even process it. You just piss it right out. You drink that shit. You don't get any of it. You don't absorb it. You're just pissing it right into the toilet. And you're getting a crash. You're getting calories and a crash, and it feels awful. It's not good. Thank you, Mozzie, for a $2 super chat. Sparkling water helped kick my soda craving. There you go. There you go. Then you don't crave it anymore. And then the thing is, it's all about slow incremental change as well. So you should not cold turkey quit anything. You should always use slow substitution. So right now, if you're addicted to soda, you don't cold turkey quit the soda. You wean yourself off of it. You have one soda, but then you have a seltzer water that's flavor, right? And you alternate. Then you get used to the seltzer water. Then you go no soda, just seltzer water, right? And then you go a slow transition. Now I've gone to water. I'm just on filtered water. I don't even have sweetener in here. I'm just drinking pure filtered water. And I'm so used to it, I don't mind. At one point, I was afraid that if I just went to water, I would hate it because there's no flavor. But now it's good. Soul at 2 a.m. did a $2 super chat says, but I like brain implosion energy. Yeah, but your body isn't going to thank you for it when you're getting older and you realize you destroyed it. You know what I mean? Like, your body's going to be pretty upset with you. Trust me, mine was upset with me.
Was upset. We're back on that notion that Phil has solved all his problems with dumbbells and 30 to 60 days of bitch lifts. And by the by, there's nothing quite like hearing a man who has a crippling gotcha game addiction to WWE champions, and the recently discovered low self-esteem that compels him to win at all costs, so much so that he disconnects from matches he's going to lose, listening to him tell me about how I need to go about handling my addictions. You know, I think I'd rather take investment advice from an Enron CEO.
Oh, that's correct. You'll save a lot of money just drinking water because, let's say, think of it this way. Soda. You're constantly buying it. You have to have cans of it, bottles of it in the fucking house. You have to store it. You have to carry it everywhere. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. Seltzer water. Same thing. When I was buying the seltzer, every week I was going to the grocery store and coming home with 12 giant bottles of seltzer water. It's a pain in the ass. You're buying it. You have to carry it all around. With the filtered water, all you need is the pitcher. You buy the pitcher. It has the filter. You fill it every morning. That's it. You don't have to carry nothing. You don't have to spend nothing. You buy the filters. The filters last months and months. An average filter for pure lasts, I think it's like 3 to 4 months. And the water tastes great. So you just keep using the filter. It lasts a long ass time.
So carrying around soda and seltzer is inconvenient, but carrying his Hydro Flask or whatever he has is easy. And, I don't understand this point. Sure, soda is bad for you, and I still drink it from time to time. But the justifications he's giving are coming out of nowhere. You have to carry the cans. Honestly, what are we actually doing here? Why choose this hill out of all hills to die on? And I think this speaks to a deeper-seated issue going on with Phil. I think he's starting to realize he's seen as nothing. That he's quite literally made no impact on anyone for anything except to be known as a shitty person who beat off on stream that one time. And this is his desperate attempt to somehow do good in the world. And honestly, it just comes off as really sad and desperate. Big ups to all my members, newbies, neophytes, and the godly gym rats. I appreciate you all. Thanks to Raw Phil for being an illegal restreamer so I could snag these clips. I appreciate you. Until next time, swole is the goal for a troll. Lift heavy, eat clean. I know that earlier he said that his lifting videos would cost $5,000, which only goes to prove he hasn't actually made any progress. When someone actually sacrifices and works hard, they feel like they've earned the right to brag a bit. And we're somehow expected to believe that Phil, of all people, has made progress but doesn't want to brag.